So after 18 months of self-indulgence, the prodigal came home. No kids. It was time for me to get my act together. I stopped doing ecstasy, I stopped going to raves, and I got married, started going back to church, even though it kind of felt off-putting because, we switched churches. I hadn't put down the alcohol because it was legal and I wasn't abusing it yet. I tried to prove to everyone that I was a good candidate for pastorship. The more I strived, the more I would self-sabotage. I was covering this inner truth that was inside, but I was also trying to numb this imposter syndrome I was feeling. I became a religious narcissist, a pastor's crony, the very thing that I abhorred. The consequences of me ignoring my emotional, mental, and spiritual health led to self-hatred that expressed itself through bouts of alcohol abuse. This exasperated my wife for 18 years. And in May of 2018, I was laid off from a financial institution. I couldn't find another job, so I began day drinking. And she followed that with divorce papers. The confusion brought on despair. Despair introduced me to the abyss. If you stare too long into the abyss, it stares back at you and begins to beckon you. I hit rock bottom in the darkest of nights. It was Christmas night, 2018. My family had had enough, and they demanded that I go to a hotel room, escorted by the police, mind you. And when I went into that room, I had no plans of coming back out alive. After I had purposed this in my heart, about an hour, my phone rings. It was Dana, my best friend during my college years. We had lost touch for about 5 to 7 years or so. We hadn't really talked except for social media. And her first words were, "I feel like something's wrong." That's when I realized God still cared. In my darkest hour, He reached out. God so loved me that He wouldn't leave me there. Jesus says that everyone will be salted with fire. Hotter the fire, more pure the gold. It's a catchy idiom until you're in it. The well done, my good and faithful servant, is a cooking temperature, apparently. And but God wasn't punishing me. He was allowing the consequences of my actions to come bearing down on me. Because what you sow, you will reap. Karma's a bitch, and no one is comfortable when God turns up the heat. And I was burnt up, burnt out, vulnerable, raw. All the stuff that I had built my life upon was taken away and burned away in the chaff. We pray more of you, God, until you realize that means less of me. The most dangerous prayer is to say, God, whatever it takes. Well, it took me 5 white chips from Alcoholics Anonymous, 5 stints in a detox facility, and a 28-day stay in rehab. I can safely say that of all the people that I personally know, I am the worst.